imagination. See how I'm living my life right now. It's currently 1:25 a.m. and that means that now, but it's Tuesday still in the States. It's like 8:25. And I just can't believe that I am somewhere that I would always dream of being for like 30 years. You know what I mean? As a child. And I was originally gonna entitle this video Catching Flights, Not Feelings, with that saying. That usually says, don't get so emotionally involved in somebody that, you forget there's a whole world out there, which is true. But being that I love embodiment and emotional wellness and emotional intelligence and all the things manifestation, I believe in co-creation. I believe and stick by it being true that we can have some active participation in our lives. And I'm gonna tell you to catch the flight and catch the feelings. Utilize the feelings to manifest catching the flight. The highlight of my year, I thought back in March, was me going to Dallas, me printing up my divine download journals, and like I just thought that was the highlight of my that was gonna be the highlight of my year. Me getting proactive back in my destiny, and oh my God, I made this little move. I did a little show for me. And honestly, in April, in May, I had no intentions of being, well, in May I did, but I didn't know I was going to be in, one country one week and another country the next week. Um, I just can't believe how incredible life is when you start to fall in love with yourself. Most of the time, you hear me talking about falling in love with spirit and, let spirit know that the contract is open for y'all. And, pray and meditate and all the woo woo things. And I was using that as it is my truth, but also as a form of escapism, I believe. You know what I mean? Because as somebody who loves to love, like I love to love. And I just, I didn't want to be in my, while, these trips are intentional and what they're for, it's also true that this has been a very progressive step for me in falling in love with myself. I have never, ever been in love with me. And these solo trips are, which I love to travel all the time anyway, but these in depth trips that I'm taking and making are signatures and alignments and agreements to fall back into me, like literally fall in the resonance of me, my soul, my body, all, the things that I feel that I'm lacking. And I get to have a graceful confrontation, right? Because confrontation doesn't always have to be nasty. It doesn't always have to be something that makes you feel uncomfortable in a way that causes you to shrink your value. However, it can be confrontation used as an accelerator, as a reflection, as a mirror to give back to you the direct influence that you've been having or not having in your own life. And so I'm so grateful, right? And I'm sharing this because I want you to fall in love with your life. And why do I want you to fall in love with your life? I think that is because I just think that, I have literally worked my own self up from depression, as I've shared with you all. I've had speech impediments, I have had mental health crises, I've had, just other diagnoses by where I can tell you that it's very hard to not only live in your truth and live honestly and live openly with who you are, but also